Hi, I'm Brittany and welcome back to my sewing channel. Today I'll be teaching you how to do a French seam. Now this is great for couture sewing and just those unfinished raw edges that you get on the inside of your seams if you don't have a serger. And honestly, I have a serger and I still prefer to do a French seam because it's just that much more elevated. So I hope you enjoy it. Now, as a typical rule of thumb, when you're sewing a seam, you put right sides of the fabric together, and that's the pattern side. However, when you're doing a French seam, you put the wrong sides of the fabric together first. So here I am pinning my fabric with wrong sides together. I bring it over to my machine, and I'm just going to do a regular stitch, making sure the threads are pulled back. And here I'm using 2.5 length, and I'm using, I would say, about 3/8 of an inch for my seam width. You want to make sure to backstitch at the beginning and end of your seam. And yes, I'm pulling out my pins. I know not all sewists do, but I'm a little too paranoid that one of them is going to shatter and end up in my eye. Now, once you have your seam finished, you're going to go and trim away any loose threads that you might have on there. And then you're going to trim your seam line. So you want to make sure that you're not getting more than 2 millimeters close to the stitched edge that you did. You don't want to accidentally cut into your stitching. Now, if you're making a garment that's see-through, maybe there's mesh on it and you're having to do a French seam, you want to make it pretty small so that it's not super noticeable on your garment. However, I'm just using a scrap piece of fabric here, so I'm making a bit of a thicker French seam. So once you have that trimmed, you're going to go and press it, and you want to make sure that it's all going in the same direction. And flip it over, and then you're going to fold it along the seam line that you created. You want to make sure that nothing's tucked in, and then you want to give it another press. This could just be a quick press. It's just to kind of lay it flat and hold it in place. Then you're going to bring it back over to your machine, again making sure to backstitch at the beginning and end of your seam. And again, here I believe I'm doing 3/8 of an inch for my width. And that is your inside seam line. So now you're going to press it again. And when pressing it this time, I do take my time and I do use steam depending on your fabric, because you really want that to hold in place. And there is your finished seam on the right side of your garment. So that's what people will be seeing. And that is what the inside of your French seam looks like. Now you could technically stitch another line just to hold the inside of your seam down, and you would see a bit of a double stitch on the other side, but I don't think it's necessary. And for comparison, I'm just showing you a serged edge here on the shirt I bought. It's already becoming a little bit frayed because you do have those raw edges, even though it's a knit and some of the stitching is beginning to fall out, just to show the quality and the durability of the French seam. I hope you found this video useful. Be sure to subscribe for more content. Thanks.